Google update here on the 4th. So another chart, another tech stock I've gone over, another chart where I think we're probably in a second wave here. Go over this whole chart right here. So starting here, let's go to the monthly. So on the monthly, you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the first wave. Second wave, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Third wave, 4, 5. And then this is an expanded flat. A, B, C, B, COVID crash, wave 2. Pretty easy to see where wave 3 ends. Don't even really need to count that one at all. So wave 3 is right here. Wave 4 is right there. And then we get into this final wave here. Probably the trickiest one. Here's my count. I have this as 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, or no, A, B, C, 4. And then I have the third wave ending right here. Right there. You can't see it on the weekly, but I think this is another expanded flat here. If we draw a parallel line here from the top of wave 1, you'll see that wave 4 had to have ended right here. So that makes this wave 5. And this can't be an extension now because we broke the low. So wave 5 ended right there. Overall wave 5, and that should be overall wave 1. Because wave 5 is finished. So what are we in then? So like everyone's saying, oh, it's probably going to go up again. It could still go up. I'm not saying it can't go all the way up much, much higher. It could, because it's a B wave. A B wave can go past the start of A wave. We don't know where it's going to end at. But if we use our fib tool here on the regular chart, you can see we've only retraced to the 0.38 fib. And this first wave took how long? It took 11 years. You think that we're just going to go down in 2 months and be done with the second wave? No, that's not happening. So, and here's the part that's kind of tough to say. I don't know if we're going to end up having like a very long, drawn-out B wave. Maybe we get something like this. And it just chops up here and ends up going all the way up here to like 250, and then we crash. Maybe this will be the melt up that everybody's looking for. I don't think so, but it could be. It could be the same thing on SPY too. We don't know what it's going to be. I also don't know. I'll say I don't know this either. I don't know if we're going to get 5 waves here before we get a real crash. Are we going to get 5 waves? This is only the first wave? Or is this the end of the whole cycle and we're going to crash even more than projected wave 2? So a few things are up in the air, but I think that wave 1 is 100% finished. So that means we should be looking at least $115 for a retracement. If you look at the 1.61 fib here, it's around $103. So I think Google is going back to $100 to $110 at some point. But what's up in the air is whether it's going to be a zigzag like this, or are we going to get something else that's going to be long and drawn out and then come down. It could end up going like this. Could go A, B, C. There's so many different ways it could play out for a corrective wave 2. But the one thing I do know is this was 11 years and we're only sitting here at 2 months down. So all the people that are looking for this are probably going to be wrong. I don't see that happening either. So if we know that this is about 2.5 months long, we're looking for at least 2.5 months up, more than likely. You're probably looking into the summertime of chop. We're probably going to be coming down, probably come down, maybe come up, maybe something like that. Let's look at the retracements here. Let's use the log chart on this one. I'll look at regular too, but so on the log chart, you're looking at least 172 bucks probably, all the way up here to 192. And then again, if we get some irregular B waves where they go way past the start of A, normally that's not going to happen though, I would say, on this type of move. This is such an impulsive move. So I would say it's probably not going to retrace past the 0.78 fib. So 192 is probably the max. If we look at moving averages here, a lot of resistance right here. So maybe it does just come up here to like 172, get rejected here, and come down. So it could end up going exactly how I have it drawn out here. Like this. Could go something like that, and then we come down. So wave 2s don't have any rules for how long they have to last. It's more about retracements. So we could get a wave 2 that's quick too. So down here you have a weekly demand zone between 108 and 104. And daily within that is 106 to 105. I think there's a very good chance it could come all the way down to those areas and fill that gap there. There's a gap at, it's a small gap, but it's a gap at 113.51. And then I don't really see any other gaps below that I'd be looking at on Google. I think that's the only one down here. So maybe it makes all the way down here. We'll see. Remember, 115 is all it needs to get to for the 0.5 fib. So let's go ahead and draw a parallel line here and just get an idea. So if it needs to go to 115, you can see here about 170. And then on the regular chart, on the regular chart to get down there, it could go all the way up here to like 180. Down here, 175. So 170 to 180 would probably be my target for this move right into these moving averages. But I wouldn't be surprised if it pulls back first next week, maybe to 155. There is a demand zone there. So yeah, look at that, right into this. Potentially, I don't know. So you could get A, B, C. And then maybe down here like that. So that's kind of my projection on this. I wouldn't think you're going to get an expanded flat on this type of move, how forceful it was. Last thing to talk about is if this is a wave 1 and we do come down here for wave 2 pretty quickly this year, then we still have a lot more to go, because the 1.61 fib of Google is up here at 319. So that'd be wave 3. And then pull back maybe to like 270. And my target would probably be somewhere around like, no, not 500. Somewhere around 420. 420 to, yeah, 420 to like 383 to 420 for 5 waves. Something like that. So the question is this the big crash? We already started it, or is this only a wave 2? I don't know. Nobody knows. And I would suspect, based on the overall market, I would suspect that we're probably going to get more downside this year. But I don't know how long this is going to last. You got to remember, too, that the hedge funds at the end of the quarter, they like to keep the market up so they look better. So that's the end of June. So unless they do it like soon, like we come up here to 170 and then they crash it soon, I would imagine it's going to happen sometime after the end of June. Probably maybe July, August would be a good time for this to happen. And then we'd be finished with wave 2. But I don't think it's going to happen in the next 2 months. Could be wrong. We'll see. That's all I got for now. Leave me a comment, like, subscribe, more updates, and I'll catch you in the next video.